Hey everyone, it's Coach D. Let's talk about balance. And I don't mean standing on one foot, although it is good for you. I would recommend that. I mean balance in terms of lifestyle, in terms of our health practices, our everyday ebb and flow. We may or may not have heard that work life balance, for example, is a myth. And the reason they say it's a myth is because there's no one point we get to. There's no point where we finally get there and go, oh, everything's great. Everything is so balanced. We never get there because life is always changing. Our body changes, our physiology changes, our experiences bring on different paths in our life, right? Balance is not a static state. Balance is dynamic. It's constantly changing. It's always shifting and finding that point of balance that works for us. It's kind of like homeostasis in the body. Homeostasis is the point that the body's always trying to work to create balance within us, but it's never actually a particular line. It never hits perfect balance. It's just constantly adjusting all the time to create whatever balance works for us inside. Our lifestyles are the same. But I've been having a lot of conversations with people, not just clients, but people I interact with, family, friends, acquaintances, people I meet. And what I'm realizing more and more all the time is how much we are loading onto our plates more and more stuff, be it good or bad stuff. We're loading more and more onto our plates, but we're not actually taking anything off. And so, meaning there's no ebb and flow, right? There's no give or take. When we do something in life, we always want to have an opposite or a counterbalance to it, which will help us feel much less stressed. It will help us feel more in control as well. One of my favorite professionals, Katie Bowman, who's a biomechanist, she uses the example of movement because that's her study or area of study. And so if we take, for example, robot vacuums as a simple example, anybody watching this who has a robot vacuum, I saw my first robot lawnmower. Sean and I saw it about a week ago. Pretty cool looking. But robot vacuums, as handy as they are one more thing that take movement away from us. And we don't think, we think on grand scales, right? As humans in our modern day society. So we think, well, what's 5 minutes of vacuuming, say? Well, you're taking away 5 minutes of vacuuming maybe a couple times a week, whatever. That might be 10, 15 minutes. You add that into 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, you get the picture. So the fact that we're taking movement away from our days, what are we doing to add it back in? So since your robot vacuum does the vacuuming for you, you have 5 to 10 extra free minutes maybe that you might have had to spend vacuuming and moving. So what are you doing for yourself movement wise that's going to counteract that lack of activity? Just an example for you. So when it comes to our calendars, our schedules, our weeks, our days, when we keep adding more to our to-do list, more to our plate, what are you taking off in order to allow you time for yourself and time to feed your soul, time to work on your health and longevity and feeling good and feeling happy rather than feeling burned out and run down because we keep adding more to our plate. And what I'm trying to work with is trying to challenge people. It's not a matter of being perfect. I just caught myself in doing the same thing. We're all going to do it. It's very easy to do it nowadays, but it's, do you recognize it? And what are you going to do about it? That's the question. And that is something I'm trying to challenge more people to simply slow down, look at things, and think about it. And then watch the magic happen.